You know, some days you wake up in the morning, you didn't sleep well, you just don't feel that great, and that's kind of one of these days for me. And I'm not making excuses, like it's not something that I'm gonna tell my flight mates, but it's something that I personally know, like my body is not 100% today, so I just need to learn to adjust to it. So let's see what we can do today and try to get around it. So let's see what's gonna happen today, guys. Welcome. If you have seen the warm-up video, you know where we're at today. We're out at Templar Park and we're gonna have a little couch vlog. I am going to be trying a lot of things during this video, so I hope you guys stay tuned for all 18 holes. It's going to be a fun one and it's going to be an exciting one. At least for the front nine, I can tell you it's not going to be boring golf. So let's get started here on the first hole. This is a par 5. I am hitting a driver, and obviously had to take the video from this angle because for this first hole, I'm just letting you guys see the limestone as much as possible because I think it's so pretty. And notice in this vlog as well how many times I have to run and find my tee. I just had no idea where my tee was flying today. So after that, I was just in the first cut, but not too bad of a position. I could still hit a 3-wood out of there. And because it's a par 5, there's quite a lot of space down there, so basically just have to hit it towards the left side of this fairway, which is exactly what I did. Hit a good shot there, and after that had this third shot from 78 yards. So this was a little bit of an awkward distance for me because I wasn't sure if the ball was flying as far, because normally in Templar Park, in the mornings, it doesn't fly very far. So because it's very wet, I think you can see the ground is still very wet. So it usually does not fly as far. But I decided to go with my 58-degree wedge. If you notice in my practice swing as well, look how much water flew out after I hit that. So this was my 58-degree wedge. I'm definitely hitting a full shot here. Normally this would carry about 75 yards. So I was thinking that this definitely should be the right club for this shot. And I didn't hit a bad shot, but unfortunately I just left the club face a little bit open, so it did not fly as far as it should have. And I left myself with this chip. It was just about, as you can see, it's maybe 4 yards short of the green. So I had a pretty standard uphill chip here, and I'm hitting a 58-degree wedge. Just a regular trajectory chip, and almost made it for a tap-in par on the first. Okay, I want to make a conscious effort to really decide my club, what shot I want to hit before I hit, and I know that's quite simple, but a lot of times I just think a lot, so it's quite hard to stop the brain from thinking. So right now we have a par 3, I'm still waiting so I can decide exactly what I do. I have 152 yards, it's a little bit uphill, so I think I'm going to hit a full 7, because a full 7 should, because of the uphill, I think it should just land it and be good. So it's going to be a full committed 7-iron on this par 3.
Please go ahead.
Down slope. Anything in there is going over. For this tee shot, I really want to make the conscious effort to choose a good target and aim to the center rather than trying to go down the right side and cut it. Because this hole just looks like it's going to run out of fairway, but it's actually so much fairway on the left side. So I really want to go more towards the center rather than towards the right side and cutting the corner on this one. So I did it again, now I'm stuck in the tree. That's what you get, Jen. So as you can see, not in an ideal position. The problem with this was I had a long ways to the green, so I was hitting a pretty long iron, but I had to make sure that it went above that slope and below that tree. So the pin is actually right below the tree, like somewhere on the right side of that tree. So I was trying to aim left here and just try to let it fade out there. And because I'm hitting a 5-iron, I was just trying to hit pretty much a regular shot to try and get it high enough above that slope. And I really didn't hit a bad shot, it just hit that slope and just went straight down, so definitely not ideal. So eventually only ended up getting 3 on, but it is on the green and we still have a chance to putt for par. So this was my putt. I had about a 12-footer. It is a big sloper left to right, as you can tell, I think, clearly in the video. And I hit a good putt, but I just got robbed. But honestly, I can't really complain after the tee shot and that wreck of a second shot. I didn't hit a bad tee shot, it was just a tad bit right off where I would like it to be. And I didn't think it would reach the bunker, but clearly it did. And it was one of those weird lies where it kind of just rolled into the bunker, so it was kind of a downhill lie. And I'm hitting a pitching wedge here, so it's definitely not the best position to be in when you're hitting a short wedge kind of iron into this green from a bunker. I would definitely prefer to be hitting like a 7-iron rather than a pitching wedge in a fairway bunker. I don't know about you guys, but I find it so much easier to hit regular irons than wedges. And I just thinned that so bad over the green. So not a very good shot right there, Jen. After that, as you can see, I almost rolled into that bunker over the green, but somehow it stopped there. But unfortunately for me, because of that, it was kind of a sandy area, so really I had to make sure that when I was practicing, I could get a good feel for what the ground was going to do, and that is something really important. Try to use your practice swing to make sure that the ground is either, if it's going to be sandy, make sure you know that it's going to be sandy so you can adjust for that. I actually hit a really good chip from there with a 58-degree wedge and left myself with a putt for par. As I said, I had about a 4-footer left for par. And really, I made a mistake here. I just wanted to finish it because there were people waiting behind and I was really quick. I don't know if you can tell, I was so jabby with that putt, and that was a really bad putt from 4 feet. So I just had to do it again and, just to get a good feel. If you miss it, it's fine. Sometimes, it happens to all of us. So if it's possible, just get a good feel of the putt again so it doesn't play in your mind. Just pushing the ball a little bit right with the drive today, and I'm just not trusting it as much. I think it's a little bit of my body just not feeling as good as it normally does. So what I really have to do right now is just trust it, choose a good target, and try to follow through more, which is what I'm going to try to feel, because I'm just kind of holding it off a little bit, so which I don't like. So that's why for the next few holes, I'm going to try to start releasing it more, and that's going to be the feel that I focus on to get back my drive to the fairway. It's not bad right now, it's just first cut, but first cut and fairway can make a big difference, so I still want it to be on the fairway. So let's see what we can do after this.
Okay, Devin. Hit it. Okay.
Birdie.
Okay, now it's all yours, Kawa. See what magic now can you do?
My aim for this drive is just go it over the left side of the tree, aim at the bunker. So after the tee shot, my phone decided to overheat. It was a really hot day, as you can see, so this is all it took. I hit it through it and I pushed it right, so I ended up under this tree. So I had 109 yards here, so definitely not easy because I'm hitting a short iron, but I had to make sure that it goes low enough so it doesn't hit that branch up there. So I hit a punch 9 iron and it was actually pretty good, but just with that bunker in front guarding the entire green, I really had not much choice, so I just ended up in that bunker there, which is not ideal, but I guess we'll do what we have to do. And this was the bunker shot that I had. It was a good shot, but there's just no stopping it from here. It's all downhill from where I was and where I was hitting, so I had a longer putt than I wanted to have, but this was my putt coming back for par, and unfortunately it was a good putt, just a misread, so a bogey on this hole. So we've reached hole 8. I have literally went par par, bogey bogey, birdie, bogey bogey on this 9. So as I said, it's definitely an interesting 9. It's not the usual gen that you see, but you know what? We're getting it around. Let's see what we can do. I have 152 yards here, hitting an 8 iron. Hit a good shot there. Definitely playing for the draw here because the left side it just goes towards those bunkers and the water, so definitely want to aim towards the right side and play my draw, and I hit a really good shot and left myself with this 6-footer for birdie. So we have reached hole 9. We are now 2 over par, and I know 2 over par is not a bad score, like there's still so many holes to go, but I think the weird part is, as you can see, I'm just hitting good shots, it's just not really getting on the green, so I'm not giving myself many birdie opportunities, and obviously when I do have birdie opportunities, it's good birdies. So other than that, I feel like the parts that usually are my strong points aren't really working today. My chipping and my putting aren't really performing as well as I would like them to. So I feel like that is why it's kind of an off day for me, because I mean, my drives were going a little bit right, but they were still within play. They were not in a bad position. My iron game has been, it's maybe 5 out of 10 on this 9, so it's not great either, but it has been getting better. Other than that, I feel like the missing point for this 9 was really my short game. So I played that shot probably as perfect as I could have played it. It's a very difficult pin position and I left myself with this really nice 3-footer. So the last 2 holes were definitely a lot better. Finally started hitting my irons the way I want them to. So definitely that was the missing point in the first few holes. I just wasn't hitting my irons where I wanted them to. So it ended up leaving myself having to rely a lot on my short game. And because I'm not so used to the greens and you know the sand bunkers and stuff like that here, obviously it's still gonna play a role when you're not used to greens and conditions. So I don't know if you've noticed, but my driver has definitely been a lot better after trying to implement that thought of rotating through and releasing. So that definitely has helped me. I've been hitting more fairways. Over here I had 104 yards into the green, so it was just a simple 48-degree wedge here. And just not the best contact. I didn't like that contact very much. So after that I had this putt for birdie. As you can see, I'm aiming a lot right, and this hole always is so confusing to me because it just breaks so much that I never know how much I need to exactly take. But there was a good pace, just left myself with a little tap in. As you can see, a gimme. So let's move on to the next hole, which is a par 3. This par 3 is 157 yards. It is downhill, but I don't feel like it plays as much downhill as it seems. So I'm hitting a 7 iron here, which is a regular 160 yard shot. So not really taking much off, just hitting a little bit more of a punchy shot. And I hit a good shot there, but it didn't draw back as much as I wanted it to, so I left myself on the right side of this green. And also I just need to be aiming more straight and not trying to play so much of a draw, because in general when I hit good shots I just don't draw it as much. So that is the thing that I need to work on, just trusting the direction that I'm aiming more. Now as you can see, the putt there just broke so much, so I left myself with this pretty long putt for par, about a 6-footer. But over here, hit a good putt and a good save there.
Okay, good one. No pressure now. done.
So this is a tricky hole. As you can see, I need to carry it above those trees there. Can't go left. If you really want to, you can just hit a layup shot somewhere here. But actually there's a lot more space right than it seems. So you really just gotta trust the shot because it looks scary, like it looks like it's just trees. So your tendency is to pull it left. So if you are sure that you can carry those trees there, really, just choose a target and swing at it. The tendency for me is because I play a draw, right? So on this hole, I tend to see the tree there and want to play a draw, but really you just have to hit it out towards the right side and there's so much space there.
Go. Okay, shot.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Nicely done. Good shot.
Don't faint.
That's alright. Good shot. No, the caddy hostel is behind hole number hole number 5, right? So this whole area is supposed to have lots of ghosts.
Yeah, during Japanese time.
Yeah. So some of the caddies they say they have seen ghosts. Yeah.
See, the hardest part about the greens in Templar Park is they don't hold. So depending on the pin position, you can really be left with a shot where basically you just have to try to get to the center of the green. And if you hit the center green, it might just bounce over. So chances of you chipping is very high. So you definitely need to know where's the best spot to miss to be able to give yourself the easiest chip. Because if you give yourself a difficult chip, I mean, it leads to a bogey very easily. So definitely need to know where to hit and where to miss on this course.
Good one, get in.
Oh, yo.
Okay.
Just don't want to give to you. No ball.
Tricky approach shot. Well, layup shot. Not much room out there. Not very good angle from the fairway, but from up here you can see. So the right side there's a bunker. All those trees there obviously are OB, and all those trees on the left side are OB as well. So you just want to play something that's short of that bunker because it'll just kick left. Because you don't want to get too far too, because if you get too far, everything down there is just going to kick left into the OB. So definitely a tricky one, so you have to just choose a good club and just go for it. As you can see, the next problem is that it's still a long ways into the green. So it's still a long way into the green, and it's usually you're going to have a downhill lie. So it's definitely not easy, not an easy hole. That's why it's an index hole. Par is a good score here. Birdie's a bonus. Look at how downhill it is. It's almost impossible to get a flat lie.
Very good putt. Okay, that's good.
For this par 5, I find the most important thing to make sure that you hit the green. Make sure that you have enough to carry it there because it is downhill, so it looks a little bit deceiving. But it doesn't play that much downhill because it is pretty steep. So a lot of people tend to take too little and then they end up short. So with a short par 3, you really just want to make sure you give yourself a putt rather than a chip.
Well
But
done, really.
I know she got the birdie.
Nicely done.
I go first?
Oh, sure, go here. Great shot.
Nicely done. What a
Great
shot.
shot.
Sound itself was
And
so
on.
pure.
Straight in.
Alright, so this hole, as you can see, the left side, this is bunkers down here. So technically the left side is bigger, but there is water hazard there as well. So if you want to play safe, you can actually play all the way out there or even out there. So I guess a lot of people don't see this hole fully. There's actually space to play there if you cannot carry the water hazard. The only thing is after that you're kind of stuck with an awkward distance. So I'm going to try and do this the best that I possibly can.
Best it shot.
Bad kick.
Not given.
Well done.
Back. Jen.